Cramer issues major price warning for Bitcoin. To sum up, Cramer, a lot of people who watch us are searching for ways not to lose money, but to make money. I can't go out with gold because gold is not good. I can't go out with Bitcoin because Mr. Bitcoin is about to go down big. Again, so he not only is he dissing on Bitcoin, saying that Mr. Bitcoin is going to go down big, but he's also saying gold will too. And many people have charted some of the things he has said on air and have tweeted, and the correlation is uncanny. If you do the exact opposite of what Cramer says, majority of the time, not only do you win big. That's why there's actually an inverse Cramer index fund. That is actually legit. Some fund company thought it was so accurate, they actually created one. So that's what Cramer said right after what Paul Tudor Jones said about Bitcoin. Let's take a listen. He said some good stuff.
I said I wanted to talk about Robinhood, but I also just looked on the screen behind you and I saw the price of Bitcoin. And I know every time we've spoken, you've had a take on Bitcoin. Do you have a new take? Still holding?
I think now the barbarous relics, and I would lump gold and Bitcoin together. I think they probably take on a larger percentage of your portfolio than historically they would, because we're going to go through both a challenging political time here in the United States, and we're going to go through, we've obviously got a geopolitical situation. So I would say...
But high interest rates were supposed to be the thing that was actually going to be unhelpful to Bitcoin.
Well, and I think on a relative basis, look what's happened to gold. It actually has been. Clearly, it suppressed it. So you know that more likely than not, we're going to go into recession. There's some pretty clear-cut recession trades. The easiest are the yield curve gets really steep, term premium goes into the back ends of debt markets, right, into 30-year and 10-year and 7-year paper. The stock market typically right before a recession declines about 12%. That's probably going to happen at some point from some level. And you look at the big shorts in gold, more likely than not in a recession, the market's typically really long assets like Bitcoin and gold. So there's probably a $40 billion worth of buying that has to come into gold at some point between now and if that recession actually occurs. So yeah, I like Bitcoin and I like gold right here.
Interesting take, because what he said was exactly the opposite of what Jim Cramer said, who was just shitting on gold and Bitcoin. And Paul Tudor Jones is arguing this is the time to be loading up on both, because he feels like a recession is coming. And when a recession is coming, you want to park your money into stores of value like gold and Bitcoin. That's why he loves Bitcoin right now and thinks it should take a larger percentage of your portfolio. So who's right? Paul Tudor Jones, a self-made billionaire worth $8 billion, or Jim Cramer, who has an inverse Cramer index fund out there that's more accurate than what he's saying on a day-to-day basis. So you make the judgment call. But right now, you guys know I am extremely bullish on Bitcoin. I think there is nothing that's going to stop Bitcoin and its trajectory upwards, especially as we head into the Santa Rally, 2024, the quadfecta year, and then the most bullish year of them all, 2025. And that is when we may see Bitcoin above 200,000 and everything else skyrocket when we truly get an altcoin season. Yes, that's coming in 2025. So this is definitely not time, in my opinion, to be listening to Jimbo. It's time to listen to me. But, you know, Cramer is a key indicator. And I found this clip for you guys. Let's play it. You know, because everyone loves to hear what Cramer has to say.
I just can't get on I can't be in something where Mr. Bitcoin is about to go down big. I just can't get on I can't be in something where Mr. Bitcoin is about to go down big.
When Cramer is very adamant about something, especially about Bitcoin, in crypto overall. Again, I don't have the graph that shows inverse Cramer all the times he's tweeted or shitted on Bitcoin on air. If you look at every single time, they're bottom indicators, including when Bitcoin was at 15, 16,000 and he was going on air saying that it's going to go much lower to zero. That was actually exactly the point that Bitcoin started rising up. So if Mr. Cramer right now is very bearish, even on gold and Bitcoin, does that mean this is a bottom indicator? Well, if you're a betting man, yes, because he's more wrong about these things than right. And this comes right after Cramer Jones, who is a very famous macro investor in Wall Street, worth billions, self-made billionaire. This comes right after the fact that Cramer Jones just said to stock up on gold and Bitcoin because he believes a recession is near. So who's right, Cramer Jones or Jim Cramer? I'm going to bet on Paul. Moving forward, that's why we have Bitcoin, right? That's why we have Bitcoin. So the RSI signals it is time to buy Bitcoin now. What is that key indicator? It's RSI, very simple one. I know Bitcoin's showing a little weakness today, down to 27,000. But overall, is it really weakness or we're just going sideways? I would argue we are going sideways, right? Short term, like I've been saying, there may be some volatility. Short term, there's always some volatility. There's always some reason. Some whale decides to dump, it goes down, right? FTX decides to dump, it's going to go down, right? When there's worries about an implosion of USDC or USDT, it's going to come down. But long term, it's looking just fine. In fact, better than fine. So let me remove my camera here. This is what I want to show you guys. Just take a look on the very bottom, what's circled there. This is one of the most basic indicators out there for charts. RSI measures whether or not Bitcoin is oversold or overbought. Right now, you could see same point as the previous times before Bitcoin started heading upwards. We are in oversold. So, we got these key indicators. This is on a shorter time frame, obviously, but on a longer time frame, well, you guys know, when in doubt, zoom out. I don't have a fancy long-term chart today. I just have Cramer. Oh, here's one. This is what I was looking for. One of those longer cycle charts. Just look at this. Long-term, when in doubt, zoom out. Here's another signal. There's a lot of support lines. And generally speaking, going all the way back, not generally speaking, it is fact. If you look at all these support lines, every single time when Bitcoin is recovering from bottom, it tests and tests and tests that support line. And sometimes it drops below it. No, I take that back. Every time it drops below it, and then it goes up on a parabolic run. That's where we are. We drop slightly below that support line, but it looks very similar to all previous times when afterwards, shortly afterwards, we go on a parabolic run. And that makes sense because, again, we're getting closer and closer to the end of this year. Traditionally speaking, November and December are the most bullish months of any year. And then, of course, 2024 with Bitcoin ETFs, with the halving event, this all lines up. It's following the plan. And I don't think we're going to deviate from this, no matter what. Short-term volatility may exist, but long-term, Bitcoin is not going anywhere.